Okay, happy Friday. So last night you had to do day 4 of homework, and the first question says identify each number as prime or composite. The first number is 15. Now remember, if a number is prime, it only has two factors, 1 and itself. For the number 15, I know that you can multiply 3 times 5. So it has 4 factors, so it will be composite. Now, if you just wrote a C, that's fine. Number 2 is 49. Now, 49 has 1 times 49, but I know, or if you were using your 100s chart that we used the other day, you would know that 49 is also divisible by 7. So, it is also composite. 7 times 7 equals 49. The next number is 37. I know that 1 and 37 go into it. And now I need to ask myself, I'm looking at this last number right here. It's not even, so it's not divisible by 2. It doesn't end in a 5 or a 0, so it's not divisible by 5 or 10. And again, if I looked at my chart that we made in class, you would know that there is nothing else that goes into 37 except for 1 and 37, so it's prime. The last one is 95, and if I look, the end of it ends in a 5, so I know that it will be divisible by 5. So I already have a third factor. 1, 95, and 5. So it is a composite number. Now, the next question is about prime factorization. Now, I know we just went over this, but you can always go online to my video in your Google Classroom to see how to use prime factorization. So you always start with 24, the number. And you want to bring it down to only prime numbers. Now, this would be a really good time to have that hundreds chart out again. Because I know that 24 can be divided by 2 times 12. Now, I know that 2 is a prime number from my chart. It only has 2 factors, 1 times 2, but 12 is not. So now I need to think about what can I put into 12, what can I multiply to make 12? Well, you can do 3 times 4, exactly. Now again, I know the number 3 is a prime number, so I'm going to circle it. That 4 still needs to be brought down into prime numbers, so 4 can be made by multiplying 2 times 2, and those are both prime numbers. So my prime factorization is 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2, or you can say 3 plus 2 to the 3rd power, because that just means that you're multiplying the 2, or you're adding the 2 3 times. Now, if you did it another way, if you made the 24 be multiplied by 4 times 6, you will still end up with the same prime factorization. So it doesn't matter how you divide it to begin with, you will always get the same answer in prime factorization in the end. The next part says solve your examples. Are the answers odd or even? So I did my examples the other day. So 3 plus 3 is going to be 6. 4 plus 4 is going to be 8. 4 plus 3 is going to be 7. And 3 plus 4 is going to be 7. So now I know that, get it over a little bit, an odd plus an odd equals 6, which is an even number. A 4 plus an even gave me an 8, which is also an even. An even plus an odd gave me 7, so that's going to be odd. And an odd plus an even again gave me a 7, and that's an odd. And I know this because even numbers always end in 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. And odd numbers always end in 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. Okay, next one says solve. It is a subtraction problem. So 0 minus 5, I cannot take that away, but I notice that I can't borrow from here either, so I'm going to slash that one out, and I'm going to borrow from the 8. Now, the 8 is going to become a 7. I am borrowing 100 from that 800. So that's going to make this into a 10. However, I still need to give this something, so I'm going to cross it out. That becomes a 9. That becomes a 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 1 is 8. 7 minus 3 is 4. 485. Okay, last problem. Says Kelly bought $102 to the mall. She bought a shirt for $26 and a pair of shoes for $48. How much money does she have now? Okay, so she started with $102. I'm going to circle that. That's important. She bought a shirt for $26 and a pair of shoes for $48. Now, as you notice, I'm only underlining the numbers in this one because that's the most important part, and the word bought. So if you buy something, you're spending money, which means you have less of it. Whenever you have less of something, that means you're going to subtract or divide. And because I am just taking away two things, I know I'm going to subtract. So 102 minus, I'm going to take that shirt away, 26. Again, I'm going to have to borrow all the way here. 12 minus 6 is 6. 9 minus 2 is 7. So now I have $76. But I still have to take away that pair of shoes, which was $48. So I'm going to borrow. 7 becomes a 6. The 6 becomes a 16. 16 minus 8 is 8. 6 minus 4 is 20. Is 2. So you end in 28. Now, you could have also, if you wanted to, have added the shirt and the pair of shoes and found out how much you spent in all first. So 6 plus 8 is 14. 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So you can now take 102 minus 74. Again, we have to borrow 0. That becomes a 10, but I still need to give that something. So it becomes a 9. 12 minus 4 is 8. 9 minus 7 is 2. And there's a 0 in the hundreds place now. So it's $28 is what she has left. Thank you. Have a great weekend. If you have any questions, you can rewind and watch this video again, or you can come up to me after class.